Hey folks, this is the other Barak coming to you live and direct here from the Holy Land in Israel. We have a video today of a congressional hearing on anti-Semitism. Let's get into it.
Apparently, donuts were going to be ordered for commencement from a Jewish bakery. A group of anti-Semites on campus asked for a boycott, saying, "Say no to blood donuts." Did you abide by their calls for a boycott?
We purchased and enjoyed those donuts.
Did the students receive the donuts?
They were eaten at commencement.
They were eaten. That's an odd passive voice.
Pardon me.
Did the students
Pardon
get
me.
any?
They were available at commencement.
To students?
Yes, they were available during the commencement.
Okay, to students. We also had a takeover of Founders Hall take place on your campus, and you said that you negotiated with those who were involved in this, didn't you?
I had conversations with those students when we brought that to a close.
The students who physically took over this building, and in fact, you said that the only punishment, the only consequences for them were restorative, not punitive action. Is that right? Restorative, not punitive?
When that disruption disrupted our campus activities, according to our policies and our practices, we closed that off, and it ended.
There was also an anti-Semitism awareness basketball game that was organized, but the organizers were told that this might prove too antagonistic to the pro-Palestinian students, and the game didn't happen. Is that correct?
We are committed to fighting anti-Semitism.
Wasn't the question. Was the game canceled? Were the students told that it would be too antagonistic to pro-Palestinian students?
That is not what happened.
Can you look, would you be able right now to look the parents of a prospective Jewish student in the eye and assure them that their son or daughter would feel safe and welcome on your campus?
I can assure all applicants to Haverford College that we are a place that promotes inclusion and belonging for all.
But would you be able to look at parents of a prospective Jewish student and say your son or daughter would feel safe and welcome on my campus?
Yes, I would.
But this is all, Mr. Cole, just McCarthyism to you, right? You've testified, you've likened our committee's anti-Semitism investigation to the House Un-American Activities Committee. Is that right?
That's absolutely right.
Have you forgotten the hearing with, say, the Columbia president, where during her testimony there was an illegal encampment that had taken over that campus? The House Un-American Activities Committee's problem was that it was dredging up distant affiliations, real or imagined, in order to impugn people. Nothing could be more different than what's going on. I don't know if you've talked to the students at places like Haverford or Harvard or Northwestern or UCLA who are afraid to wear a Star of David, are afraid to wear a yarmulke, are afraid to express their identity in any way because they'll be ostracized, they'll be subject to discrimination, to potentially acts of violence, who have to face checkpoints from anti-Semitic lunatics on the campus, not letting them even access public facilities or cross the quad. Nothing could be more different. This is a shocking problem that has engulfed much of higher education and had been building for many years, but in particular over the last year and a half. And I simply cannot believe that you would say that the Democrat witness from the ACLU would come here and liken this to McCarthyism.
I think
we have a long way to go in reforming higher education. I yield back.
I think one of the most important data points here that we should be looking at is just how Jewish students feel. Lots of presidents, lots of executives, professors, they'll get on stage. They'll go to a congressional hearing. They'll speak to the UN. They'll send out a nice school-wide email. They'll put a notice out for the prospective incoming students to be freshmen next year about how they combat all forms of hate, how they take care of the students, how they provide a safe space, how they make sure and ensure the safety of the students. Wouldn't the real data point, though, be what the students feel, how they really feel? Because since the 7th of October, I've only seen analytically and objectively an increase of how unsafe Jewish students feel across college campuses in the United States of America. And what's interesting is when I talk about that, people who are against Israel will then say, yeah, so are the Muslim students. The Muslim students are reporting more scenarios of feeling unsafe. And by the way, I'm not saying that there is no antagonization, that there is no intimidation or any form of bullying against Muslim students by radicals on the pro-Israel side. And by the way, I condemn it. It shouldn't happen, and it should be dealt with, and it should be dealt with, period. But overall, I don't think that these waves of pro-Palestinian students going into schools, going into the classrooms, breaking into campus property, taking buildings over, manipulating what the security can and can't do, I don't think they feel so unsafe. I'd say they're pretty confident, pretty on top of the world. It's a cult. A cult doesn't feel unsafe. A cult has the upper hand. A cult is violent. A cult is intimidating. A cult is a herd of people, a wave, a mass of people that join. That doesn't sound like a group of people that are marginalized. That doesn't sound like a group of people that are being bullied, that are being hated against. You don't see groups of Jewish students taking over Columbia University, shutting down halls. You don't see this. You don't see these walkouts. You don't see these students blockading Muslim students from walking across the quad. You don't see them stopping them from being able to go to the cafeteria. You don't see it because it doesn't exist. So what side do you think is going to have more reports of feeling unsafe on campus? Which one? It's really simple when you do the math. I take everything that these professors, that these presidents, that they say with a grain of salt. Why? Because Yale and Harvard showed us very early on in this conflict exactly what they do to deal with anti-Semitism on their campus. The top, the cream of the crop, prestigious universities where the smartest kids go, where the smartest professors and lecturers exist, over my dead body. Over my dead body. The smartest ones for a propagandized machine, for sure. And that's a brilliant method if you ask me. But why are we not having the Jewish students? I did a video a few weeks ago of this incredibly, incredibly brave kid out in Canada. I'm drawing a blank on his name, who opened up about his experience being a Jewish student and what it feels like. That is who we need to listen to. Why are we not listening to the people? The people. What's a college campus? It's a campus full of college students. So who should we listen to when we're trying to get feedback? Probably the college students. Not the professors, not the gatekeepers, not the ones with the money, not the ones who make the decisions, the ones who are on the receiving end of those decisions. Why don't we listen to the people? I'd love to see 20 students, 10 of them Muslim, 10 of them Jewish, in a panel like this. Where are they? Then we can chat. Let them do the talking for us. Why are we going to speculate all day? That's my idea. Thank you so much for all your support. Let's see you next video. If you want to continue the conversation, you can support my work for free. Discord does not cost a thing. It is the best way to connect with me and others who are seeking the truth. The link is in the description. But if you want to take it one step further, my Patreon gives you access to the Israel you don't see, uncovering the untold stories of what mainstream media does not show you. The link is in the description, and it helps me to continue this work. Or if you're just looking to help this thing go, PayPal and Buy Me a Coffee is a really easy way to support me. This channel, this work does not happen without all of you. Thank you. I love you. I'll see you next time.